Hi, this is Dawn Olszewski and welcome to another episode of How'd She Do That? And today we're going to make this beautiful card. It features a masking technique that we're going to use with a brayer, and we're also going to add some shimmer, if you can see that. It's a little bit hard to see in this video, but in person this card is beautiful. Now, I was inspired to make this card by a swap card I received from Lindsay Mahan. We attended an event together, Founders Circle, and I totally fell in love with her card. Can you see that shimmer on there? So I kind of figured out how to do it, and I'm going to share that with you today. So let's get started. Alright, so the first thing that you need for this card is a template. So the first thing that I determined was the size of the card that I want to make, the top layer. And this measures 5 inches by 3 3/4 inch. And I made my template the same as my top layer. So what I'm going to do is I want to get the center of this out. And I have discovered if you use the 1 3/8 inch punch, what I ended up doing was I pushed it all the way in and just kind of in the center. Doesn't have to be perfect. I turned it around, again pushing it in, keeping it roughly in the center. And then all I did was I wanted to then line up the edges. So I'm lining up this edge here. Again, I pushed it all the way in, and then you just keep moving it down. I'm going to reach the other end here. We'll match up that side and turn it around and do it again. And so you could do this with some different sizes of paper, depending on how large your paper is going to be on how large your hole of your template is going to be. And there we go. Isn't that cool? Okay, so the next thing that you want to do is apply a temporary adhesive on the back side of your template. Now you can use a product called DOstamping, or Stampin' Up! Has a two-way glue pen, and it's called two-way for two reasons. One is when you apply it and use it right away while it's wet, then it acts as a permanent adhesive. When you apply this onto your piece here, we're not going to adhere anything to it. You're actually going to just let it dry. Once it dries, it becomes like a temporary adhesive. So we'll set that aside and let it dry. In the meantime, I've already got one ready to go. Again, this measured the 5 inches by 3 3/4 inch, and we're going to put it on here and just line it all up. And we're going to use a brayer. Going to get it inked up. Now, ink it up good. Spend a little time getting it all inked up, and I do recommend going from this direction rather than here, otherwise you're going to get lines. Okay. And here we go. Now with this color, since it's such a light color, I can actually really work in, I'm going to do one more round. I can really work in the color. Now on darker colors, like the one that Lindsay did here, I would recommend just doing a couple passes and then seeing what it looks like. And if you need to add more color, then go ahead and add more color. But otherwise, this can get dark really fast. But like I say, with the lighter color, you can work at that a little bit. We're going to set that aside to dry, and in the meantime I'm going to use rubbing alcohol and our Stampin' Up! This is our Stampin' Spritzers, as well as champagne mist. This is shimmer paint. This is what it looks like, and there's a little marble in there. I'm going to shake this up. But what we're going to first start to do is we're going to take this apart. And I have a little bit in there, but we're going to fill this up a little bit more. So the mixture, I found what works best for me. Back up here so you can see what I'm doing, is the rubbing alcohol. I like to fill it up halfway to about the halfway mark for the rubbing alcohol. All right, let's see here. Can I do it without spilling? Woohoo! There we go. And then I'm going to fill it up. Yeah, I got a little bit more, but that's all right. We already had some mixture in there. I'm going to fill it up about another 25%. So not all the way to the top. I want it about 3/4 filled so that we have some room for it to mix together. And we're going to drop that in there. And there we go. And you can always add more if you're feeling like you're not getting enough shimmer when you first start to spray it. Add this back together. Top on and shake it up. And there we go. We have instant shimmer mist for ourselves. So I love that. And we have a few different colors that you can use, but my favorite is the champagne mist. Okay, so what I've done is I've brought in a little box, and this will kind of catch the spray. And so we're ready to go. This is all dried up. And I'm going to shake this one more time. Now, probably the biggest tip that I can give you is that where your spout is, make sure it's facing the paper. How do I know that? Yeah, don't ask. And give it a couple of spritz. There you go. Now, because this has alcohol, the rubbing alcohol in it, this should dry fairly fast, but you do want to set it aside, make sure it's completely dry before you go on and do your stamping. Okay, so this still just has a little bit that it's drying on, but you can kind of see the shimmer on there. Now, if you noticed, I did not take the mask off when I went to do the shimmer. I only wanted the shimmer to land in that center area. So now we're ready to take the mask off. There we go. Just remove some of my little temporary adhesive. I hope you can see that. I'm trying to get that in the, oops, let's come in closer. There. Isn't that beautiful? Love the look of that. And perfect for snowflakes, or the image that I used here, which was the Come to Bethlehem. It's a beautiful. I've added it to the card here. And just as well as the little greeting here at the bottom. I really wanted to keep it simple so that the focus could be on that beautiful shimmer, and added just one little touch with our basic Rhinestone Jewels. So isn't that beautiful? Now, if you want to know the layers, so the like I talked about, let's say it one more time. This was 5 by 3 3/4, and then we had Bashful Blue, which is 5 1/8 this way, and 3 7/8 that way. And then of course just the basic card that is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. I did add a panel to the, thank you first of all, Lindsay, for sharing this beautiful idea, and I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to stop by my blog at DOstampingwithDawn.com for lots more inspiration and creative ideas.